And we are live.
Hey guys, and welcome to our home. The kids are asleep, and we are so ready for this.
Yeah, we've briefed the oldest one on the fact that we're doing a live right now, so there should be no walking in his underwear. That happened once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're here and we're excited. We're going to talk to you today about the secret of keeping a tidy home.
Yep. And we are super excited about this because right now is a good time to be talking about it. I don't know about the rest of you, but for us, certainly being home more of the time and having more of us home more of the time has made it so that
the house is messier so much faster.
Yeah, and we spend more time, I think, tidying up. And so it is something that, you know, it has an impact on me. I think it has an impact on you as well. We like to keep things tidy. And so we start asking ourselves the questions of like, what does it, you know, what do we do? Yeah. And are there any silver bullets? The quick answer to that is there aren't.
No, so like the thing is, I've never been a super tidy person. I've become, but like I never was growing up. Or even in my grown-up years either.
You sell yourself short, and you shouldn't.
Okay, so I mean, it was never nasty, my home. But if you ask any of my old roommates from like college years, yeah, I was really good at making piles. So I mean, my clothes weren't all over the floor, but there was always a pile of clothes. And my papers weren't all over my desk, but there was always a pile of papers. So I was really good at like making piles. If you know this, and if this is you too, then please let me know so I don't feel so alone. But the thing is, like last week, we were recording Clean With Me that's going to come up in a few weeks. So yep. Keep a lookout for that. And so we're doing that in the afternoon. So all morning, I kept like stopping myself from like picking something up. It's like, no, we're doing a Clean With Me a little bit later. And then like I walked out of the room. I was like, I was going to take something with me to the kitchen. Like, nope, leave it. We're doing Clean With Me. And it dawned on me like, it has kind of become second nature to tidy up. And I was super happy.
Which, as a side note, this is like the great paradox of having an organizing channel that you know deals with like cleaning and this kind of stuff. You constantly find yourself doing less of what we're actually talking about on our channel because we're like, save it up for a video. But I think, you know, we're still making steady progress. And at the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about?
Oh, it is. Yep. No, so the point of what I was saying before is that, you know what, everyone can learn the secret to keeping your house tidy. And we're going to share with you now the secret that we are using. The secrets.
Yeah, but people are still trickling in. So if you're here, then say hi. If you're not here, then I mean, you can't say hi. It's just not how it works. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we're talking about how to keep a tidy home, or the secret to keeping a tidy home. Again, there are no silver bullets, but there are a bunch of little tricks and tiny habits that help us to keep our home tidy that I think, you know, maybe aren't as obvious to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. And we found 7 different habits, tricks, secrets that we're going to share with you. We might end up sharing more because we would love for you to share your secrets as well. So write those up and we'll share those as well. And maybe we'll end up with like 25 or something. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll be here for another 3 hours. That's not the plan. No.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well,
should we go?
Yeah, we should. The first secret to keeping a tidy home is...
Oh, sorry. To assign responsibilities. That put me on the spot while I'm scratching my head. Assign responsibilities. So one thing that we try to do is for every member of the household to assign responsibilities. And you might ask, okay, well, isn't that just like having chores, making a chore list? For me, assigning responsibilities takes it one step further than just, you know, asking the kids to do their chores. It is assigning also the responsibility for making sure that it gets done. It's empowering the kids to do, you know, certain things, have certain things around the house and show them how it fits into the big machine, right?
Yeah, make sure that they take some pride in what they're doing. So like we have the kids take their dishes to the sink, and we have the kids clean their own room. So there are definitely responsibilities they have for themselves, just like we have responsibilities for ourselves, but it's also responsibility for keeping the family running. So, I mean, when they always ask, like, why do I have to do this? I always explain, well, I make dinner every night, and that's my responsibility to make this family keep running. And then you wash your laundry to make sure the family keeps running, or you, wash the baseboards to make sure the family runs.
Yeah, because and I think that's key in this, that, you know, we explain to them that if they don't do it, it doesn't get done. But then I think as part of that, and going back to this like idea of empowering the kids to take responsibility, we give them freedom in doing it the way that they want to do it. We try to refrain from like going back and redoing things that they've done, just to show them and give them the chance to feel like, hey, I'm important in all of this. I'm important in making sure that the family life runs smoothly.
Yeah, so what was it, like a year ago? Our oldest, he's 9 now, so he would have been 8 back then. We assigned him the responsibility of washing his and his sister's laundry. So he'd always like carry the laundry basket downstairs because they were sharing a room at the time, do the laundry, put it in the dryer, and then walk it back upstairs. And that was his responsibility. And yeah, occasionally we'd have to say, hey, it's time to do the laundry, and then he would do it, but that's it. Like, we didn't have to remind him about every step of the way because he knew that it was on him to make sure his sister had clothes. I mean, obviously wouldn't let them go without clothes, but I mean, he might have thought so. Like, it was on him, and he really enjoyed that responsibility so much that now that he has his own room and does it for himself, his sister now is like, oh, can I do it for me and my brother that she's sharing a room with now? And she's super excited to take that responsibility of being like the big kid in the room that does the laundry.
Yeah. Shara saying that the video is a bit laggy. Hopefully it settles. I don't know if that's on our side or on Shara's side. Please let us know if it's not working, and then we might have to revisit this at some point. But we'll carry on until further notice.
Someone else commented that. So yeah. But we've shared the first secret of having a tidy home, which is to assign responsibility. The second secret is to
assign everything a home. So there's that saying,
I always
a place for everything and everything in its place.
Yes.
So the idea here is that you take basically the things that are around your house and you make sure that they have a home. They have a place where they belong. And I think that makes it so much easier for you to keep your house tidy because, it takes a little bit of that like thought that needs to go into putting things away out of the moment where the decision is made. And you start doing things more automatically if you know that things have a home and you get into the habit of putting them there.
Yeah. And like, it has so many benefits for things having a home. Like, you don't, like, it's a lot easier to tidy up because you just put it exactly where it goes. You don't have to like, where would I put this? And it's just a lot. I mean, it keeps your home looking a lot nicer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is, so there are a few benefits to doing this. It is easier to find stuff. You can save some money by, having things in their place, having things have a place. There was one person that we were working with.
We had a client once that ended up having like 15 pairs of scissors because they just could never find the scissors when they needed them. So they just went out and bought scissors all the time, again and again, which is a great thing if you like just kind of having stuff all over, and then you're a lot more likely to find it because you have more of them. But it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to find things when you need them. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's just a really good thing for saving money and saving time, is just to know where things are, let them have a home, and go there when you need it.
Yeah.
Do you have any things that you like always go to find, you can't find, so you end up buying more? Like, I know I have a friend who always buys like kid socks because she can never find the partner for her kid socks. So she just always goes and buys more kid socks. She's like, every month she buys like kid socks. So like, do you have anything? Let us know.
Yeah. And the next thing I think is that's good to hear, Shara. then I'll stop mentally worrying about that while also trying to speak, because I can't do that. You can do that much better than I can.
Because you're a man. It's not your problem.
That is sexist.
It's true though. Anyways,
that's fine. It certainly applies to me. So let's just leave it at that.
Let's do that. Actually, I thought of something else for the like putting things in its place. So our kids have a responsibility of bringing their lunch boxes to like the kitchen whenever they come home from school. And occasionally the kids will forget to do that. And then we just kind of, okay, well, it's their responsibility to do this, to put it here where it belongs. And, like they haven't done it. So some mornings I've just kind of made the lunch the night before and just have like all the components of the lunch, but it's not in a lunchbox. And then right before we go out the door, they realize, because they come to take their lunch, like, oh, and then they get their old lunchbox out and there's like some peanut butter smear on the side of it. Happened once to Marcus, and he was like, oh, I can't bring this to school. And I think he was well, I don't want to say traumatized because that's not a good thing, but he was definitely like affected enough by it that he's like remembering a lot more often.
That's what we aim for. Send our kids to school not quite at the traumatized level, but affected. So not on their toes. Put it that way.
Exactly. Hi all. Okay, so we've been talking about the secrets to keeping your home tidy, and we've shared 2 secrets so far. If you have any secrets, then please let us know, and we'll share those as well. Then we'll kind of do a combined secret sharing here. But the third secret that we're going to do right now is to not put stuff down, but put them away.
Yeah. So, but just I'm gonna say this once, and then we'll move on. If you're having trouble with the stream, please let us know, and then we'll have to figure something out better for for next time. So, Nadia, I noticed that you're here, so hi, thanks. And then we'll move on.
Yes.
Feedback is important.
Thank you. So I was saying, like, the third secret is to not put things down, but to put them away. And it's actually there's this comedian, and I never remember what his name is. It's like John Richardson. Yeah. And he did this skit about being a putter or a lever and how that works in relationships, because there's when putters and levers are together, there's like something that happens. And maybe we thought that was funny because Ben is definitely a putter, like you put it away. And I am more towards the lever side sometimes. Like, oh yeah, I used it and then I just kind of leave it somewhere. I don't want to say gotten better, because I've just maybe evolved more into a putter than a lever, and I think you can.
I think that means you've gotten better.
Well, that's kind of,
from my point of view.
I'll link the skit below in the comments.
Yeah,
there.
definitely check
funny.
it out. It's pretty funny. But yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a red thread here. If we, we're talking about the secret to keeping your home tidy. We've talked about assigning responsibilities. So every member of the household has a responsibility for kind of different parts of keeping family life running smoothly. There's assigning everything a home and putting things away instead of just kind of leaving them places. All of this is, the red thread, I think, and also going forward, is trying to automate the process of keeping things tidy. And that sounds really engineering and boring, but
he's an engineer and he's boring. No, he's not.
Hey, but I think that, when you get into the mindset of basically trying to automate, these processes around the house, what happens is that the mental load, the project manager part of being a parent in a home that, you're constantly trying to like delegate and make sure that stuff gets done. You don't spend as much time on that as you do on just like actually getting things done and seeing things get done. And I think that's a huge thing when it comes to, being in a house, especially nowadays with like things getting messier quicker and just, staying on top of things. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, how can you automate? How can you like make it so that some of that thought process that goes into keeping your home tidy, you can kind of do away with that because it, it's become second nature to you.
Yeah. And I definitely putting things in its rightful place is one thing that really helps it make it second nature and like makes it so it doesn't have to like put too much energy into thinking that. And that actually goes for both things that have like a permanent home, but also things that have a temporary home. So like if I find like Lucas, our youngest, he's how old is he? Like a year and a half now. Yeah. So like he's growing out of he's growing out of his clothes a lot. He's a grown boy and he grows fast these days. And so whenever he grows out of some clothes, I give that to my friend. And before I can give it to her, I have put it in our donation station. So we have this like shelf in the basement where we put stuff that's going out of the house so that it doesn't just get recircled into all his clothes. And then next time I want to put it on him, I have to like realize again, it's too small. So it goes there. And we actually ran into a problem because right now, during the Corona crisis, all the donation shops are closed and all of like, we're not really seeing our friends. So we ended up with having loads of stuff that we need to donate. So we've actually taken one of our cars and just like half of the car is just like packed full of stuff that's ready to go to the donation shop.
We're using the cars less as well. So
yeah, we're only using one. Right
and you
now.
might argue about, is it prudent to advertise the fact that one of your cars is full of stuff on the internet? Honestly, if you were to break into that car, the value of that car is next to nothing, and take some of that stuff, you'd be doing us a favor. So,
we're not wanting people to break in though. Okay.
I think it's debatable.
Maybe the insurance. Anyways, okay. So
Wow. Okay. And now moving
on.
on from insurance fraud on our YouTube channel to the next topic.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So the next secret. Actually, let's go into the comments. They've been coming in loads. So Shara asked if she's that friend. Oh, I think she's referring to the one with the socks. No, I wasn't referring to you. But if you felt like that fit, then thanks, because
The
you're
sock
not the only one.
fits. Okay, sorry. Yeah, dad
Think
jokes.
it's-
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then again, I think there's some stuff going on with each other here. Okay, so again, my rule is asking myself, what can I do? The answer almost always surprises me. I organize my closet while holding a baby in the carrier.
Why don't we move on to
Oh,
that?
man.
Because we did actually talk about this in preparation for this live. That
It's actually part of one of our secrets, that saying that Shara just shared there. Like, what can I do?
Mhm.
Okay, because one of our other secrets is like, do a little bit every day. And I'm sure you've heard this before, because it's something people like, oh, just do a little bit every day, like spread out the cleaning. For some people, it works to have like one day a week where they just get everything done, and then they let the house kind of fall into decay the rest of the week, and then they do everything again. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just doesn't work for us. But if you do a little bit every day, then at least you get something done, and it builds up momentum, and it builds up that believe in yourself that you can get something done. Like, start with making your bed in the morning. Like that, and it's in and of itself makes you like, okay, I can do one thing, and one good act or like positive act invites another one. It's like, oh, okay, so the bed looks super pretty. Oh, on the floor here, there's some clothes. I'll just pick those up on the way out, and then the whole room looks pretty. So like one thing really invites another.
and it just prevents you from ending up in this like needing to do a project. If that's not your groove, then for us at least, like when things kind of deteriorate to that level and we need to like muster the forces and all of our resources to actually like do a full-on project, it just takes it out of you. And we prefer to try to do a little bit every day. But the thing is, and I think this is an important point as well in the context of what we're speaking about, the secret to keeping your house tidy. It is important to not beat yourself up about it, and to be pragmatic about what you can do realistically. And the thing is, like, we've all got our own situations, our own circumstances, different numbers of kids, different circumstances in terms of size of your home, working situation, your just the number of people in your household. And at the end of the day, again, no silver bullet, no rule that applies to everybody. And I think it's important to not compare yourself, but to look at pragmatically, like, what is it that I can do now? What is it that I can do to make our situation just a little bit better?
Yeah.
For here and now.
Yeah. So like Shara said, like she had a baby on her hip and actually organized her entire closet. That's awesome. I'm about to have a baby in like 2 months or so. And we still have Lucas, who's not even 2 yet at the time. So at that point, it's going to be a lot of stuff that I can't do that I'm used to doing right now. But then like have the mindset like, well, what can I do? What can I get done? Okay, so I can't carry the laundry basket down and get the laundry done right now because I have like 2 kids that I'm carrying around. But then maybe I can like kind of throw some food together or like make some lunches for tomorrow with one hand. So let's do that now. And then the time I was going to do that, I can take the laundry down. So just kind of like have the mindset, instead of being like, oh, I can't do anything because of this is happening to me, then instead have like, okay, well, what is possible? So that's a really good point. Thanks for saying that, Shira. And we were going to say it anyways.
Question. So what is your go-to chore? If you only have 5 minutes, what's the one thing that you could do to really make an impact on just how you're feeling and what your home looks like? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, because actually, if you have like 5 minutes, like oftentimes it's like, oh, well, I'm picking the kids up in 5 minutes. And then you just kind of waste those minutes. But if you like, oh, I can vacuum my kitchen and my hallway and probably my living room too in 5 minutes. And the reason why I know that is because I've timed myself. That's a really good advice. It's actually time yourself. I know. Okay, thanks.
No, but it's a good point.
Yeah, so I've timed myself on doing a bunch of different chores because so many times I think it's human nature to like think of things that you don't like to do and just overestimating how long they'll take. It's like, cleaning my house is going to take all day because I hate cleaning. Or like, doing like cleaning the I was gonna say gutters, like cleaning out the drains, that might take like 2 hours or something. Like just things like that.
The
that you don't
psychological
like
impact
to do,
lasts longer though.
they'll probably
My
take
God.
all day. And they might take all day if you spend most of the day like dreading them and like building up. But the point is, if you actually time yourself and know that like cleaning out the drains takes, I don't know, you do that. I don't do it. How long does it take?
Like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20, depending on how long we leave it.
Yeah.
Stuck the drains out.
Like emptying the
Let's not go into
dishwasher
that.
takes me like 4 minutes. And the point is, like, so if I have 15 minutes, then I can actually vacuum the entire ground floor and empty dishwasher and have a little bit of time extra to spare to chase Lucas down and put his shoes on. So, I mean, you can do a lot if you know how long different tasks take.
Yeah. And on that topic, another thing that helps you just generally kind of lower the baseline for how long things take around the house, and that is our next secret, is to declutter. Maybe not so much of a secret, but if you imagine decluttering, taking that to the extreme and just decluttering everything, like it's not going to take you very long to clean your house if you have nothing in your house. Now, we're not minimalists. We don't recommend doing this, but if you dial it up to like 3 or 4
or 5 or 6, you know,
yeah, instead of 11, then you know it is going to make it easier for you to clean and to tidy up.
Yeah, for example, like our basement right now. So our home is not big. Like we live in a townhouse. It's 3 stories, like the basement, middle floor, and then up here where the bedrooms are. And it's, I never know. It's like 100 square meters. So
It's like
some feet.
just over 1,000 square
Okay,
feet.
thanks.
Yeah.
So like it's not a big house for as many people as we are, and we do not have a lot of storage space. Like that's really. Like we really need more storage space, but we've made the most of what we have. So in the basement, underneath the stairs, we have a little corner there that we have organized awesomely. Like everything is in boxes with labels on, and we know exactly where to go for all the things we don't use like all the time. But a couple of days ago, my friend came over and dropped off, I think, 6 big garbage bags full of clothes, baby girl clothes, which are great because we're having a little girl. I don't think we've actually announced that on YouTube. We're having a girl. So we gave away all our clothes because we were done having kids before this one.
Before we weren't done having kids.
We weren't done anyways. So we didn't have anything. So she gave us like loads and loads of it. So we didn't know where to put it. So I just put it in the basement in front of all that really well organized space because that was the only place I could fit it. I'm going to go through it tomorrow and like sort it out and put it away properly. But right now I can't get to a tablecloth without moving 5 bags away. Not to say that it's not organized, but if you have too much stuff, you can organize the heck out of it, but still have trouble getting to it.
That coincidentally also gives you a pretty good idea of how small that storage space actually is. It takes 5 bags of clothes to go from like organized to perfection to like complete chaos. So that's just the reality of living in Denmark. Yeah,
that's kind of it. Actually, I keep calling you Olive. I know you're Nadia. So, but I love you more. It's a really good channel. If you haven't looked at it yet, check her channel out afterwards. She just posted a video on, like job interviewing. So that's
a lot of people going through a difficult time with their job situations. So definitely check that out. Some good advice
after
there.
this video, obviously.
Yeah, don't just
leave yet. But she just said a clear countertop gives the appearance of tidy. I love that because like putting things away, decluttering, just making sure that there's not like stuff lying like piles like I used to be really good at when I was younger. Like not having piles anywhere just opens up the room. And again, we live in a small home, so it doesn't take a lot for our kitchen to look cluttered. So having a clear countertop is really important for us as well because it brightens up the room and it opens it up and gives it more space that you don't have when you live here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So are we on to number 6?
I thought I had another point, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay, yeah. On to the next one.
We can come back to that. It's our show. So hey. Number 6, invest in a few good gadgets. Now, usually if you clock into our channel at any given point in time, we'd probably be more likely to say you can probably afford to like get rid of stuff rather than bring stuff into the home. But now we're gonna shift tones a little bit and say you could probably afford to get
a few good gadgets. Like not just, oh, this is smart, I'll get this, or this is sparkly, I'll get this. But like there was a point in time that we didn't have a dishwasher, for example, and this is not like a fancy gadget.
In Scandinavia, this is how it works.
When we lived in Texas as well, we didn't have a dishwasher until actually we had 2 kids before we got a dishwasher in our marriage. Dang.
That made a difference.
And that was a game changer. So if you take that like knowledge. I'm sure. I'm not sure. Maybe some of you have had a time where you didn't have a dishwasher as well, and then you got one, and it's a huge game changer. So, like that was one thing that made it so much easier for us to keep our kitchen tidy. Now, I don't even know how long it is since we got our Dyson vacuum cleaner. They're awesome. We were needing a new vacuum cleaner, and Ben was like, "Let's get a Dyson." I was like, "They're too expensive. They're too expensive." Like, look, and it's. I didn't think it was pretty either back then. I've changed my mind. He's like insisted that we should get it because it was so gadgety. We got it, and it was a huge game changer. Like cordless, it can be right there on the wall. It's like lightweight. You can bring it anywhere. I love it. Like our floors get vacuumed so like really, it didn't get vacuumed much before. You had to go into the basement, get it, bring it upstairs to just vacuum.
Dive through bags of baby clothes. No. Okay. But I think the approach and what we would recommend is not, not just go looking for gadgets, but start with, what are the tasks that don't get done around the house? Mm-hmm. And then ask the question of like, is there something that I could, invest in to make that easier for me?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking for a mop right now because we're not washing our floors as often as we should. Like they're getting vacuumed, but they're not getting washed as often as they should because we have a bucket system like the old fashioned way. And I know there are so many fancy mops out there. So if you have a suggestion for me, write in the comments below. I've kind of found one I like, but I'm still looking. To make sure. So that's one gadget I'm really looking for. You're laughing. What's up?
The Dyson hair dryer is also lightning fast, so you have more time to keep your home tidy. That's a good
there
point.
You go.
Although some of us might not need it after the Corona haircut. So the hairdressers opened up like a week after.
Yeah.
So that was awkward.
Not even a week after you cut your hair. It's like, oh well.
Yeah. Good times. We'll look back on these days and.
Anyways, if you have any secrets of your own for keeping your home tidy, then definitely let us know right now because we're moving on to our last secret. Mm-hmm. So let us know and we'll share those right after our last secret. If
you like what we've talked about so far, you've enjoyed our company, please give us a like. Let us know. We like
that.
It's funny. Okay, I think we've had too much of that in one video. Let's move on.
Okay, you're saying?
Number 7. Mind shift, mind changing the way that you think about things.
Yes, exactly. And can I say something?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Good.
Yeah.
So here is really like when we lived in Texas, like you were in school, in grad school, I was stayed home with the kids. It was very, very, very often that we just had like toys everywhere. And I have done more times than I like to admit, like, ooh, people are coming over, gather some toys, open up the closet, push them in there and close it again. If you've done this, let me know. But because it's something that's not nice to do, but it's effective. It keeps everything looking really pretty, and like people come over and they think you're a tidy person, But like shifting your mindset is like, who are you actually cleaning for? Are you cleaning for your friends or are you cleaning for yourself? Like my friends came over like occasionally, and was it really that important for me to have them think that I was this super tidy person, or was it more important for me that the people I love the most, my kids, my husband, myself, that we had a peaceful place that we could come home to after work, after school, and relax in. And when I started thinking like that, it really changed my desire to keep a tidy home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's so important to, because we can get caught up in all of this. Like on Real Organized, in our videos, I think we have a lot of really good practical advice for just how to, stay on top of things, keep your home tidy, just be, on the ball. But at the same time, I think it's so easy to get caught up in that and kind of lose sight of what the real purpose is. If the purpose isn't to, to just feel better, to be more energetic, to spend more quality time with your family, to just be more mindful. What is, I'm not saying that those necessarily need to be the purpose, but I don't think being organized, going around cleaning up every day or tackling some massive organizing project is worth it if that's just the whole, be all and end all of the purpose of doing that in the first place. So I think, be aware of what the underlying motivation is and keep, sometimes it's just good to reset and, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if your house is a mess nowadays, then just go back to like, what is it that you're really looking for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what, like, are you cleaning just to clean, or are you cleaning because you want to feel more at peace? And does it help you to feel more peace, or does it actually make you more stressed to clean? So, so make sure that you keep the right mindset in there. That's actually like one of the most important things that changed me from being less tidy to more tidy.
Yeah,
you've always been tidy.
I've always been mostly tidy. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We've shared 7 tips and 7 secrets for how to keep your home tidy. If you just joined us now, then you can always go back and watch the replay. That'll come up in just a few minutes. Yeah. We've
got some really exciting videos coming up. We're sharing how we went from being pretty late a lot of the time to figuring out how to be on time. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. We've got one, I think, next week on basically getting back into normal life, with big quotation marks, after this whole episode of coronavirus, and maybe that's a little bit too early depending on where you are in the world. But I think there's some good tips that apply regardless of what the situation is in your country. So keep an eye out for that one. And then we'll
see you next time. Bye.
Bye.